So let's go into your reading here. One of the first things that I am feeling here with the High Priestess and the Four of Wands, and these cards came out very early on in the spread. It might have already been something that was revealed to you in the month of November. If not, it's coming through for this month. First of all, I feel like a lot of you were talking to somebody or involved with somebody from the past. And there is some news that either has come through in November or is coming through for this month, where you have some news regarding that person's relationship status. Okay. So you might have been talking to them and then all of a sudden things kind of like tapered off and you're like, I wonder what's up with them. And then I feel that you're going to get news that, they're in another relationship. Okay. And I feel that they're also going to be in a stable relationship. So I feel some revelation, some news. And when that news comes, I don't feel that you're going to be too sad by it because at least, you have the closure that you need. So I see a lot of you walking away mainly because you are finding out about somebody's relationship status. Okay. And I feel that if you were dealing with a fire sign in particular, so this is Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo, I do feel that whatever relationship that they're in, I feel that it's relatively stable, and I do sense that they're taking their relationship up to the next level. And then for others of you who might be dealing with an air sign from the past, and you're finding out this news about this air sign, I feel like you're just like, oh, wow, they're involved in another relationship. So I'm just going to cut my losses and move on. So it's going to be a little bit more devastating if you're dealing with an air sign. And especially if you have shared, joint custody with this air sign, I feel like they are introducing new members of the family or, they're introducing their significant other to the children. And you might be introduced to that person too, as at a family function. And I do sense that, it's going to be a little bit awkward, but I do feel that, your higher self is happy that they have moved on. Your higher self is not trying to be petty, but your higher self is still a little bit concerned about the children. So I do feel that in the spirit of like, camaraderie, cooperation, I do feel that it does hurt a little bit. It stings a little bit, but I do sense a lot of you are going to be able to move on from this. And then there are others of you who are taking your own relationship to the next level. I do feel like, last month I felt something about soulful communication coming through. I'm getting the same message again. So I feel like a lot of this might have happened already in November, where if you are like seeing somebody casually, I feel that the person that you're dealing with is coming through to reveal to you how they feel about you. And I do feel that they want to take the relationship to the next level, and they are kind of like at a crossroads, and they're trying to tell you like, what do you want to do? Where do we go from here? What are we planning to do in the future? And what are we to each other? So I do sense that coming through. And I do feel that a lot of you, the relationship itself, I feel like it's very stable. There's a lot of trust. There's a lot of mutual, respect. And there is also like a lot of faith and trust in this partnership. It's a very expansive partnership. But I feel there might be some geographical distance between the two of you. There might be, work-related issues that are coming through where you're not really sure where you're going to be. You're not sure where they're going to be. And I feel like you're trying to take it slow, and I feel the other person is trying to rush things. So they're telling you right off the bat how they feel, and you're going to have to make a decision here as to, do I take the relationship to the next level, or do I walk away from it? Okay. And I feel that, your energy is coming through in this spread as the King of Cups, which means that you're very, very directed. You're also like very strategic. I feel that at this point, a lot of you are feeling quite good about your emotional state. You're feeling quite good about, getting your life together. So life is going swimmingly well for a lot of you. And you might not want to be in a relationship that is too tumultuous, or you might not want to be in a relationship if you're not 100% sure about the outcome. So you only want to invest if you can somewhat gauge that the outcome is going to give you, dividends on your investment. So I do sense that like hesitation a lot of you are just not ready to be in the relationship. So I feel that, if you're dealing with an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, I feel there's a lot of emotional hesitation from your end about investing and taking the relationship to the next level. And I do feel that the air sign is kind of pushing for yes or no. I don't feel that they are pushing for, let's be coupled up. They're just pushing for some type of resolution, some type of closure, because they don't like things to be open-ended. Whereas you're just like, well, let's just, wait it out and see how things go. So I feel that you need to be making a decision here, and I feel that you're not, okay? So there's some energy here about, somebody coming to you to reveal their feelings. And I do feel a lot of you are trying to take it to the next level. And the responsibilities that entails, though, it's a little bit difficult, I feel, to manage this relationship. So there's a lot of attraction. I feel there's a lot of mutual cooperation, admiration, adoration, and, two people really liking each other, and two people who are very high-minded. And the relationship, I feel it can be quite stable. Okay. What's coming through next here? We do have the Eight of Cups as well as the Nine of Swords. So the Eight of Cups is a situation that we have invested a lot of our time, a lot of our resources, and a lot of our emotions into a specific venture. And I feel that, it's not giving you the emotional satisfaction, fulfillment that you're looking for. So you are going to have to move on from it, okay? And I feel that for a lot of you, there might have been some disagreements, some arguments, if it pertains to like work situations as well, where you have been plagued with sleepless nights, where this is usually when I see this card, I think about health issues, okay? So physical health, mental health of somebody close to you or somebody that you're dealing with. And it usually indicates a situation where health issues are coming through prominently for this month, and you are going to have to decide like what you need to do about this. For those with children, I do feel a lot of lack of sleep from the children's end. And then because they're not able to sleep well, they might be dealing with some cold, flu injuries and things like that, like sports injuries. And they're also keeping you up at night, mainly because they're not feeling well. So I do feel loss of sleep. I do feel a lot of communications happening very, very late at night. And, try to get enough sleep. Try to get restful sleep as well. So that means, not having a TV in your room, putting your phone on silent. So, no matter who it is, it can wait until the morning time. So getting enough sleep, getting enough rest is going to be very vital for you. I do see a lot of drinking coming through for this month. So just be very careful about that, and just be very careful about commute and travels and things like that while you're under the influence. So I do feel a lot of, celebratory energies associated with this Four of Wands here, but it's also the negative aspect is, overindulging, over drinking, especially with alcohol. So just be careful about that, okay? In terms of your emotional state, we have you showing up here once again as the King of Cups. This is a very, very positive card, okay? This is kind of like you at the apex of emotional maturity. A lot of you are in a situation where you are potentially dealing with somebody younger. So we have here linked up with it is the Princess of Swords. And this is a very, very young energy. It might not be an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. This can be air sign, sun, moon, or rising, but it might not even be an air sign. It could just be communication from people who are a lot younger. I feel that they're in the process of learning. They're in the process of growing. And I do feel this is a person that is really curious about the world. They want to understand how things all fit together. I do feel a very curious, inquisitive energy about this person. And for a lot of you, this could be your own children, where you are trying to teach them, the diligence. You're trying to teach them the right way to do something. And you're trying to teach them you're trying to find ways to calm them down. So you might have children that are highly or a little bit more hyperactive, or a little bit a little bit more high strung. They're too much in their head. So you're going to have to find ways to, soothe them, or at least, make the situation, bearable for them. Others of you might be in a capacity where you are working with younger learners, like, as a mentor or as a teacher. Or you are coming across like, you might be in a supervisory position, and there are a lot of people coming through and they're asking you a lot of questions, and you're just like, well, whatever they're asking you, I feel like they want to know everything, and you don't want to inundate them with too much information. So you just want to tell them, like, let's cross that bridge when we get there. Here's what you need to know right now. So I feel like you're being strategic about how to disseminate information and what information to give out to other people who are asking for information. With the King of Cups energy, it can also deal with like, somebody who's playing mediator, who's playing like middleman, who's also playing like, a therapist to somebody else. Okay. So I feel like you have someone in your midst, and an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, that is a little bit younger than you. The way they communicate, you find it very interesting, the way that their mind works. And I feel almost like you're fascinated by this person. And it seems like I feel like you're looking at them kind of like under a microscope. You're trying to figure out their motives. You're trying to figure out, the way that they think, because they're like, it's hard for you to pinpoint where this person is coming from. So I feel like you're trying to make sense of what they're doing, the things that they're doing, the things that are happening to them. And you're kind of like taking a more of an armchair like approach when it comes to dealing with this person. So there is a little bit of confusing information, and I feel like it might come through in this manner. And I feel as well that, you have a lot on your plate. You have like, family and children and things like that in your life. And even if you don't have family, or even if you don't have children that you're worried about, I do feel that, you have a lot of like new revelations that you're trying to like wait for the dust to settle, and you're trying to decide on the next course of action. And I do feel as if this person's communication is coming through at an inopportune time. And as a result of it, you're just like, let me put it on the back burner and not deal with this for right now, because I don't know how to respond to it. So there's confusing communication coming through. Okay. What I'm also feeling is especially for those of you, I see like a transferring of offices. So if you were in one area of the building, you might move to a bigger office. I feel like the move is relatively good, okay? So you might be moving to a bigger office. You might be shifting to another, like, another office, another area of the building, another, department and things like that. So I guess like the right word would be kind of like lateral movement within the same organization for the same position. That's coming through as well. But I feel the opportunity is out there. It's not going to happen on its own. So I do feel you need to put in some paperwork and sign some contracts in order to get that rolling for yourself. Okay. So the last cluster that we're dealing with here is the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Cups. We have two sevens coming through, and the sevens indicate, very, very strong intuition, strong psychic abilities, and the number 7 is ruled by the planet Neptune, and it deals with a lot of like transient energy, where what you see is not always what you get. So I'm getting this this idea about a mirage. Okay, it's sort of like something that is too good to be true. You don't entirely trust it. A big part of you is telling, your intuition is telling you pretty much this is something worth pursuing, and it is something worth fighting for. The struggle is real. It's not going to be, like an easy thing that lands in your pocket. I feel that you're really going to have to fight for it in order to attain it. And then I feel others of you are like kind of reassessing whether or not the work that you're putting in is going to pay off for you long term. For many of you, this can be a specific relationship partner that I feel that you're grappling with this decision. And you're thinking that, this is a really solid person that I really enjoy spending my time with. But on the other hand, there are all these other options out there. So I'm not sure if it's smart for me to, invest so much in and have it not work out. So I feel like you're dealing with some type of stress regarding how somebody feels about you and what somebody wants from you or expects from you. And you're not really sure, like, should I invest all this time in because I have other options? And it seems to me like, you believe that the person is worth fighting for. You believe that the venture is worth investing in. But it's going to take a long time for things to really pay off. And in the meantime, you have so much on your plate that you're not really sure adding on this other thing that's really going to drain a lot of your time and resources and energy is going to be worthwhile. So I feel a lot of you are hesitant about that, okay? What's also interesting about this spread here is that we don't have a single Pentacles card. And the Pentacles card deals with material goods. It deals with practical, steps towards doing something. So I feel like this is a very, very dreamy month that you are going into in December, where you have very, very idealistic expectations, where you are very passionate about things. But all the decisions that you're making, it's like filtered through the head, it's filtered through the heart. And I feel that you are making decisions based on, impulses. You plan things out. However, there's this high impulse, idealistic type of energy coming through. So I feel like you might change your mind about many of these things come, the later part of December, such as December 21st, when the sun shifts into an earth sign. So when the sun shifts into Capricorn, I feel that you're going to be in a better frame of mind to make these decisions, okay? Because I don't see a lot of like grounded energy. I feel a lot of idealism, a lot of passion, a lot of fervor, and a lot of like a few confusing communication coming through. And I feel like some type of pressure from other people to you to act. And I feel like your intuition is telling you, no, don't act on it. So if you are grappling with something like this, it would be better for you after the 21st to make a solid decision. I feel like by that time, the dust will settle a little bit. And we're also shifting into, an earth sign where it's a lot more, the energy is a lot more compatible with you. Whereas like in a fire sign, like in the time of Sagittarius, the energy is very combustible and it's very idealistic, but it's not, grounded. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. Wait until the 21st of, December, if you can, to make a decision. All right. Now, in terms of your spiritual advice, what I have here is the Queen of Swords, the Six of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. So I feel like for, the common narrative that I'm getting here is a lot of you are just, moving away from an air sign. So this can be in a work environment. This can be also in a relationship environment. What I feel is, if you're dealing with an air sign for quite some time, and this could be an ex-partner, this can be like this is a relationship. I feel that there's some sense of finality associated with this. They might have moved on with another person. And I feel that you are shifting away. Okay. So Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. For others of you, there's going to be some type of I feel like you're not going to reconcile with each other as a romantic couple, but I do feel there's enough communication here between the two of you where the communication is very functional, is very practical, and you only communicate when you need to in order to get something done with them as a unit. And I feel that, the relationship then is going to be a little bit smoother in that manner. If you just agree to disagree and only contact each other if it's absolutely necessary. And especially if this is somebody that, you share children with, I do feel that they're going to tell you about some voyage that they're taking as well, some trips that they're taking, and they're going to bring the children with them. And as a result of it, you might, have the holidays free, without the children, and you're going to have to plan what you need to do. Overall, they're saying towards the end of the month, the energy is going to clear up and the communication that has been confusing, it is going to work itself out. It's going to start to clear up. And I do feel that you're going to have a lot more mental clarity as to, the best course of action to take, the best steps that you need to, do for yourself in order to move your life forward. What I'm also feeling is, for those of you I mentioned earlier, there's a little bit of a work slowdown, especially for those of you who are on a commission basis, who are self-employed, or who are on a client basis. I do feel that there is a lot of new clients coming through. And I would say like after the 21st timeframe, there's a lot of new potential for income generating, activities. And I do feel that you are going to be in an environment where you have to compete with a lot of other people. And I do feel that you are confident in your skills. Okay. You're confident in how you communicate, how you convey yourself, how you can persuade others. And I do feel some type of victory, especially if you are entering some type of contest. For those of you who are betting, I do see that working out pretty well for you guys. So if you're entering some type of contest and you have to you work with a team and you have to decide the strategy, I do feel that you're coming up with something that will allow you to win. And I do feel, first, second, third places, you're not going to be trailing too far behind, but I do sense the competition is very fierce and you have some good blessings when it comes to your ability to be persuasive, your ability to be very tactical and methodical, and your ability to think outside of the box. So I do see a lot of creative energy coming through, pertaining to, winning some type of contest or landing a very, very lucrative client, mainly because you know how to persuade them to get them on board, to sell them an idea, to sell them some type of a goal that you're trying to implement. Okay. So the energy is very, very good overall. For those of you who are dealing with, people with health issues for this month. So if you're dealing with somebody who is suffering from some health issues, I feel that you're working together as a team to help them, find some diagnoses or at least make recommendations for them so that they can resolve it on their own. The last message that I'm getting here is that I feel for a lot of you, there is somebody is making a gesture towards you and they tell you how much they like you. And I feel that this might have been something that you are aware of, that you might have known for many months. And I feel like somebody told you how they feel about you. And you were taking a really, really long time, that you were sitting back, not really moving, not really trusting it either. And I feel that this is the month in which you realize that, wow, they were serious about me. So I have that revelation coming through and I feel that you need to act on it fast. Okay. Because the ship is going to sail away. So they're saying there's going to be, just, people revealing themselves, how they feel about you. And then you need to not sit back, but rather think don't dismiss it. Really think about it, take it seriously and, decide if that's something that you want. Because I feel like a lot of you have many options and you're also trying to decide, whether or not it's worth it. I feel as well, a lot of you are being recruited for some type of tenure position. So especially in academia, I feel like a lot of you are recruited from an institution for some type of tenure position, some type of major, I'm seeing book deals for those of you who are creative workers in the writing industry. So I feel like you're landing, there's a company showing interest in you, and they want you to take over some major project. And you might have, you might try to decide whether or not it's feasible. You might have to decide between multiple options when it comes to creative projects. But I do feel it's going to work out really well for you. Okay.